Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you all. What up, Monica, my master life coach? She is here. We have not connected yet, Monica. We need to connect. Some of you I have not connected with, and I need to. I need to connect with you on there. I'm just going to get a little crazy right now, and I'm going to put my cell phone in here for anybody who would like to connect, engage. It's the holidays. Tuesdays and Fridays are my connection day. We talked about relationships. Oh, this is the best time. This is the best group to be able to have that. So excited to be here with you all. Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy December 2nd to you all. And just blessed to be able to be here. Just got done our prayer call at 7:30. Tuesday is one of those days that it just goes from like my alarm goes off at 4:30 and it seems like it is on. As soon as Fred looked at me, he's like, wait a minute, what time did he just say? He's like, that guy's crazy. I am a little crazy. And today we're going to talk about some crazy things. Good morning to you, Jessica. If you can be on video, I want to see your smiling faces today. I want to see some smiling faces today. If you can be on video, just show yourself so I could see your pretty smiles. I'm going to be seeing Bethany soon because Bethany's coming to get Chip, our turtle. I'm so excited. I'm sad. Our little turtle's going by, but the kids are growing up and dad's getting tired of feeding this turtle all the time. So Bethany, you're going to have a cute little turtle coming your way. So good morning. Put good morning into the chat. Let's get some chat excitement going on here. Get good morning in chat. Get your fingers going because we're going to get this party started today. I'm going to be really reaching out to you. I'm really going to be leaning into you. So you have sensitive ears today. You've got sensitive ears today. Just be ready, Barbara. Just be ready to rock and roll. So good morning to you all. My name's Coach Brock Zivan. I'm a life coach, business coach, real estate coach, and a DAD. And I have not seen my kiddos in about over a week. I miss them. And so today I come from missing them. Next week, I'll be coming from you like being like, it's been great having them. And then I have them a week after that. So I have them for like 2 weeks in a row, just about. And I'm going to be like, all right, when are you going back to your mom's? No, I'm not. I'm not going to say that. I might think that, but I'm not going to say that. So I'm excited to get them this week and excited to be here today because today's message is one that's probably going to make your butt cheeks perk up a little bit. I'm just being honest with you. So I want to ask this question before I get into my affirmation. I just really need you all to if you could just stop what you're doing to hear this question, because I need you to put a number in the chat. Okay. Well, Barbara's working out. I love it. She's working out, grinding that. I want you to put in the chat if you're okay for me. Put a 5 in the chat if you're okay for me to be raw, real, and I might say a couple curse words. Okay. The last one I'm throwing out there on the edge there, but it's not gonna be naughty words. I just want to see if we're okay being raw, real. Hell yeah. There we go. I like that. I just want to get everybody's permission before I go down this path, because it's gonna make you be like my goal when you get done with this is to make you feel the way I felt today when I'm ready to go through a brick wall. Okay. I didn't wake up this way, but I went through this process. It actually started last night. And then I want to get into where I've seen it and how to, but the only way I know how to do it is to be raw and real. And a couple words, might come out of my mouth. But before we begin into that, let us do our affirmation time. So everybody, including you, Kimberly, and for those of you who are not on video still, yes, I'm talking to you too, because I can still see through the screen, but you didn't know that artificial intelligence can do that. I'm just joking. It can't, but it will be at some point, I'm sure. All right, everybody come off of mute. Grace, let's get the affirmation on here. And on the count of 3, I really, guys, want you to really feel like you're pissed off, you're excited, you're like, man, what is he going to say to me today to get me into this? Okay, here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Something good is going to happen to me.
Something good is going to happen
to
to
me.
me.
Through me.
All right, everybody. John, they're not really bad words. They're really not that bad words. I'm not going to say anything really crazy. I'm going to say something, but you can almost say it on TV anymore. So I wrote down these words here today. And for those of you taking notes, I wrote down tanking versus thriving, tanking versus thriving. And then I wrote down expecting versus excuses, expecting versus excuses. So if taking notes, these are some things, and I'm going to be sharing with you several different things that I picked up started last night. We got in from drove in from Charleston, so we got up really early. Wendy and I drove into Charleston. As soon as I got into Charleston, we did an amazing event with Christian and Sherry on investing in money, and I talked about now money, and those guys did a fantastic job. So reach out to Christian if you want his notes, and Sherry for her notes and what they talked about. And I came in, and then the event was like 2.5, 3 hours by the time we clean up and everything else. And it was just, I walked into a laundry list of emails, if you can imagine, being gone from Thanksgiving and everything else. Okay. So I'm not complaining, but I'm just telling you where my mindset was. Am I speaking to someone? Put a 10 in the chat. If you came back Monday and you really weren't very excited to go to work, you're kind of like the Thanksgiving hangover. We haven't really looked at our emails. I was a little kind of just tired. It was hard to get in the mood on Monday. Maybe I'm the only one, but if anybody else felt like that, put a 10 in the chat. That was just like, just wasn't there. So I start shifting through some of my emails, and I got some emails that really, it was just like, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. I got somebody who I'm selling a property, and I told them it's as is, and they just sent me a laundry list of a due diligence of about $15,000, and we're supposed to close like less than a week. And I was like, I don't really like that. Then I get another email saying that somebody's not very happy with me, so they sent me a dispute, and they want money. I got a letter from my attorney, and they're like, "You were supposed to be here. Where are you?" It was just like a laundry list of things. And I used to get really bent out of shape. And I've worked on myself on doing that, but you just get a lot of those, and the mindset of where I was, it just wasn't exciting. Then I get a message later on that evening, and I was like, there was somebody else that said something to me, and it just wasn't good. There was just a laundry list of things that just were really happening. It was hard to get myself together. So one of the things that I practice is I'm like, well, I'm just going to bed. I'm just going to go to bed, so that way I can start tomorrow fresh. So I start today, this morning, and guess what? It is pouring rain out. It is absolutely ridiculously cold. And the last thing that I really want to do is go to the gym. And so I started to this like, okay, like I really did not want to go to the gym today. And so this whole tanking started to resonate in my head, because I've been watching a lot of the New York Jets, and some people are upset with them because they feel that they should be tanking so they can get a first round draft pick. And I'm like, why would you wish anybody or anything that you would start to go down this path of like losing, so you can hope and pray for something else that's going to come along? And so I started to think about that in my life, and I started saying to myself, I feel like I'm just tanking right now. It is just easier for me to stay underneath these covers. It is easier for me to be like, you know what? Do I really want to go through this whole Nashville process? Like, really, what would go through this? Like, what happens if I cancel it? Like, these things go inside your head, and you're like, well, wait a minute, Brock. I thought you did one in Charlotte. You did one in Key West. I thought for sure you'd be okay now. How many of you sometimes have good things happen to you, yet we still got the devil speaking in our ear? He's still having some conversations with us. And so this whole tanking mindset came into play. And I was like, I'm doing the same thing in myself. And I didn't want to do it. And I started to be like, okay, I got to go now to my next word of excuses. Excuses. How many of us seem some days we have more excuses than we have anything else, or really good excuses. I always say this: the person who created the excuse think it's the best one ever. It always is the person who creates the excuse think it's like, well, this one's a really good one. Like my hands hurt, it's cold out, all this stuff is happening. I'm late. I don't want to work out. My car, my money, my kids, I was up late. Like every excuse under the sun. Reasons are results. Exactly, Mario. And I had a lot of them this morning. And then I started to have that shift. I shift by watching something positive. I watch a video of some sort, any motivational video, I watch it. And then I started to think about it. And I said, I'm not really thriving anymore. And I got to get myself in a thriving position. So I did go to the gym. And for full transparency, I typically go to the gym for about 50 to 55 minutes. I was there for 35 minutes. But I was just like, I got to get it in, because if I start missing the first thing that I'm supposed to do today, the rest of my day is not going to be where I want it to be. And because I didn't hit my mark on the first thing to start off with. And let me tell you all, the minute that I decided to do that, I went from a tanking to a thriving position. When I said my excuses that I'm just going to go, I don't care if it's 5 minutes, ended up being 35 minutes. I immediately went from creating an excuse to expecting myself that I'm going to knock this out. And what happened was I said this to myself: how much longer do you want to keep half-assing it? So that was my curse word, assing. How long do I want to keep half-assing it? Because you can't have Thanksgiving because there's Christmas coming around the corner. If you're telling everybody it's separation season, but you're not doing it, then who are you? And I know I'm speaking to somebody today because you might be feeling in your very self that some of you are half-assing it. So I made that shift. I'm like, you're done doing that. You're going what I like to call all in. You are going to go all in to whatever it is that you are supposed to do today, and you are not going to half-ass it anymore, and you are going to go all in. So as I go back into my emails again and I review them, I have a different perspective now than I did last night when I looked at my emails, because now I'm a little bit more rejuvenated and I'm fired up. So then I go back and I was just like, oops, just broke my pen. I go back and I was talking to two people about what happened last night. And they're like, well, what happened from last night to today? Like, what was the big shift? What was one of the other things that you did? And I wrote this down. I stopped being a spectator of my life and became a participant in my life. I stopped watching and started to get involved. And what happens is when you become a participant in your life, you're going to feel the ups and the downs and the flows. But I need you to understand, it's the only way that you can actually score is you have to be in the game. You can't be on the sideline, because all you could do on the sideline is be what? A spectator. You can only be a spectator. And a spectator is the person who can say, you should tank your game. You should tank your season. And they're the ones that create the excuses. You have a losing season. You haven't been winning. You didn't do a really good job yesterday. You're not really thriving the way you said. You've been over-promising and under-delivering. You don't have as much money in your bank account. Just tank it. That's like hoping and praying every day that you're going to win the lottery, is what takes place. Instead of going from what Mario said, reasons to results, going into expecting, I expect my day to be like this. I expect my day to go in this capacity, and we call that affirmations. So I'm going to challenge you all today to write down 5 affirmations. If you're able to write down 5 affirmations as soon as this call is done, I'm going to encourage you to write down 5 affirmations. Now, one of my affirmations, once again, I got to say one bad word, is I'm a badass. I changed the word half and put it to bad. For me, that is what I need to be able to get me into the right mindset of where I want to go. I'm tired of playing small. And sometimes that means I have to make hard decisions. Part of the conversation I've had over the last 24 hours is I'm considered an a-hole. And I was just like, really? Why is that? Well, sometimes you're just really mean. I said, I'm really mean. What do you mean I'm really mean? I don't get that. Well, you just keep going on and doing your own thing. And if other people don't want to do it with you, you just keep going on. I'm like, what's the problem with that? It might not be nice. But if you are in my corner, for those of you who know me, I will check in on you to see how you're doing and get the tail between your legs and stop half-assing it, just like I had to do to myself today to get myself to where I want to thrive. Because now I'm expecting something different. And if you think I'm mean, I'm sorry. And some of you on here today need to stop playing nice to yourself and take yourself to the next level. And when Chad said, live events change lives, not only do they change your life for the people sitting there listening, but they also change the life of the people speaking, because the speakers learn and they grow and they become a better version of themselves. And then the people taking notes become a better version of themselves. And then when you're done speaking, you go on break, you're going to talk to somebody else and you're going to become a better version of yourself. And that person's going to be listening or talking. They're going to become a better version of yourself. And then guess what? This badass little snowball starts to become something really big. And guess what, all? Since it's Christmas season, not every single one of us can roll the big snowballs. And that's okay. So then you get other people to help you. Hey, man, I remember when I was a kid. Hey, Brent, my cousin, I need help with the snowball so we can make it what? Bigger. And what happens when you start to create something bigger and you're rolling that snow? Remember, visualize it all. Remember, let's go back to our kids. And we start rolling that snowball. And we keep rolling it. I'm from upstate New York. We would roll it and we roll it. It would be so big. And then we would spin, we look behind us. And what would that snowball do? It would leave a path. It would leave a path of the green grass because it was taking the snow and packing it into our big snowball, making it something bigger. So as hard as it is to roll, we didn't have excuses. We're expecting to roll a big snowball. And we knew the bits and pieces of everything that we're going through. Binghamton, New York. All the bits and pieces of the snow that we're packing into this big snowball was becoming a bigger version of ourselves. And so I don't have excuses for being mean. Because I have expectations of not only myself, but every single one of you on here. I always say my expectations of you should never be bigger than your own. If anything, you should blow me out of the water when I ask you, Monica, what do you want to do? Jackie, what do you want to do in 26? Fred, Irma, Latrice, what is it? I should be like, damn, I need to go check my goals out. Maybe I'm playing small. John Root called me. He's tired. He's like, enough is enough, Brock. I want to take it to the next level. He called me, sent me a message on Facebook Messenger. He's like, I'm ready for the next level. This is what I want to do. I said, great. I'll get you the 2026 business plan. We're going to break through the 5 pillars, and we're going to go through the 6 streams of income that I want you to have. And we're going to start taking business to the next level. But you have to want it first. I didn't call John Root. Hey, John Root, I saw you on TV the other day. I saw you on the show. Looks like you were driving really confidently. So I thought maybe you want to take your business to the next level. You got to want it first. And some of you I'm talking to today, because you're like, I think I am playing small. I want to see who's vulnerable on here. How many of you think you played it small in 2025? How many of you? Put a 7 in the chat. Put a me in the chat if you think you played it small in 2025. And now I want you to put a 5 in the chat if you're tired of playing small and you want to come out big. You're tired of half-assing it. Put a 5 in the chat. If I'm speaking to somebody now who's like, that is me. I want to take my business to the next level. I don't want to be the 50% of the real estate agents who are out of the market. I want to go all in. I want to be in Nashville, and stop complaining or creating excuses. If you want to go, go. Plain and simple. Be committed. As I work on the one I'm doing in January, guess what? I already have to start thinking about July on where we're going to go next, because there's another bigger event. There's something else with this snowball that we are creating and building. And I know I'm talking to somebody today because I was literally in that position this morning when I didn't want to go to the gym. And the smallest little thing of not going to the gym, if I didn't go, I couldn't do this message today because I'd be a hypocrite. I'd be talking a big game, but not living it. I'd be a spectator is what I would be. You know, we used to call those, not couch potatoes, but, or either backseat drivers, or like, you know, everybody's a really good coach when they're sitting in their recliner. Well, I would have called this play. I would have done this. Well, you're not in the moment. You're not participating. You're just a bystander. So if you're all in, if you're willing to make that commitment today, armchair quarterback. Thank you, Paul. I was like, there's an armchair quarterback. Yes. If you're willing to make that commitment in some capacity, I want you to type in all in. I know it's more than a number, but I want you to put in all in. If you really want to take yourself to that next level in some capacity, in some way, and I'm going to put all my information at the very end here. And you're like, you know what? I really need to figure out a way to go to Nashville. I have to get in that room. I got to be around those other 100 agents. I got to be around those 15 other speakers. I have to immerse myself into this environment because I'm tired of half-assing it. Plain and simple. I'm just tired of it. And you might say to me, well, Brock, you don't understand. I got another event. I got a family. I got this. Okay. Well, where's another way that you can get involved? You can call me. You can text me. Thank you, Bethany. I live off of Bethany's message. I feed off of that, because if I could change your life, just like other people have helped me change my life, you become an unstoppable person in a capacity you can't even imagine. But you got to go all in. You got to take that first step. You got to, I haven't seen a snowball start big. To this day, I've never seen it. And when I left that gym today, Monica, I promise you all, I was not upset. I was like, thank God he got that in. What an idiot you were to think you weren't going to do it today. These are the conversations I have myself. So, Grace, put the Nashville event in there. And then when you put the Nashville event in there, I want you to put my contact information. I want you to put in the Mindset Facebook group page, if those of you aren't on the Facebook. I want you to put in there my cell phone number. I guess I can put my cell phone number in myself. I want you to put in my YouTube. I want you to, for those that need to find me on Facebook, you can text me immediately. I can't do it right after the show because I have a meeting, but I'll get to you in some capacity, in some way. If you truly are tired of half-assing it and you want to be all in, because I will help you. Just like I had to work through myself, we will work through you. And that is why we do the affirmation. If you're ready to be a participant and not a spectator, now's the time. This is what God's putting inside of you this very, very moment. So I got 3 minutes before I tell everybody to ask people what they thought about the show and put fives in so people can look at the links and get my phone number. Who's got something like to share with us today? Don't try to leave. We got 3 minutes. That's like me trying to leave the gym early. Not going to leave. I still was there for 35 minutes. Who's got something like to share today? A message that's something that came to them on this. Raise your hand, come off of mute, do something crazy, jump around. I know I spoke to somebody, at least one person on here.
Okay, I'll be bold. Good morning.
Good morning,
Me, Latrice. Hey, what stood out to me was I have been a spectator of my life and not a participant. And woe, it's me feeling sorry. I'm going to be very transparent because I want to grow. So I don't want to hide anymore. And as you were speaking about the light, and when God takes you through something, he doesn't do it for you, he does it for someone else. And it's not to be kept like underneath the bed or under a shelf. You know, the scripture says he doesn't have the light and put it underneath the table, but he puts it so that people can see, you know, what God has done. And so I need help, and I'm putting it out there because I'm tired of my way. When you say, how's it working for you? It's not. And so I don't know everything. And I've learned so much from you, and we've talked. And so I want to be a participant of my life instead of a spectator. So thank you so much for all that you do. And my prayer is always that God blesses you and your family because you give so much.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Latrice. Put some hearts in the chat. Find those emojis on there. Put some hearts in the chat for Latrice. All. Put some hearts in the chat for her. And Latrice, I'm going to ask you to be bold to put your phone number in the chat because Latrice, you spoke to somebody right then and there. Somebody on here need to hear that message, and somebody will reach out to you in some capacity. So when you put your phone number on here, I want somebody to reach out to Latrice because you know you're feeling the same exact thing. You're trying to find direction. You're trying to find guidance. She just spoke up and she wanted to become a badass is what she did right there. And she says, you know what? I have to work on this and I need to work on myself. So I know she's speaking to somebody on here. Somebody's writing down her phone number. I could see it now. So write down her number, screenshot it, and call her. Send her a text message because you will inspire her just as much as it was for you. She just took that chance, and I love you going out there, Latrice, and putting it out there. So good job. Who else? I got one more. One more. Somebody's got something.
My takeaway is the fact that you told me that you can only score when you are in the game. And I've been letting distraction take me out of my game, of my focus, because I care so much about my community and I forget sometimes I tend to forget about me. What do I need to do to get my work done and to get to my goal for the year? I'm going to miss my goal by 20% this year. And I am determined. I don't know where it's coming from, but I already thank God for blessing me with the financing to go to Nashville next month. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna be there. And that for being there, it's I have to be in the game to score, and I'm going to score. And I'm committing myself today to score to get to Nashville, no matter how it is. So thank you for blessing me with these words today, because I know I need that kick in the butt, just like Miss Latrice, to get me going. because next year my goal is going to be huge, and I know God is going to guide me to make it happen and give me the wisdom to execute the plan that He has for me so I could succeed in my goal. Thank you so much, Rock.
Amen. Fred, thank you for sharing that today. You got a lot of chats of people reaching out to you, Fred, and great stuff, man. I mean, literally all that is what it is that feeling inside that, like, if you want to score, you got to be in the game no matter what takes place, and you got to fail at things, and you got to fail fast, and you got to fail forward. So thank you, Fred, for sharing that. So guys, I appreciate y'all. If you got something out of today, put a 5 in the chat for me. Put a 5 in the chat. Put some love in the chat. If you got something out of today and some message, some note, some trigger, the smallest little thing it could be to help you take your business, take yourself, tired of half-assing it, tired of, you just want to be all in. Maybe it is Nashville that I got to be at. I'm willing to make that commitment. I tell people, call me. Let's figure out a plan for you to get to Nashville. I'll make it work in some capacity, in some way. So love to be able to see you there. All very cool. I appreciate all the 5s. Appreciate everything that we got. There's the Nashville tickets. We'll leave it up there for a little bit. And for those of you that I can help in any possible way, reach out to me, DM me, look me up on all the different platforms. Come join us on our Facebook group, my private Facebook group. Tomorrow, I'm excited. We got Chris Reshitar will be leading us. It's the first Wednesday of the month. He is one of our speakers at Nashville as well. So come join us at 8:15. Till then, you guys have a phenomenal day. See ya.